All right, we are going to be getting started here in just a couple minutes. I can see a couple early birds signed on, so welcome, Laura. Glad to have you on, and John, and who else is Amit? Welcome as well. Looks like a couple other people are joining as well, so we'll be getting started here in just a minute. Thank you guys for taking the time out tonight to go through this. I definitely think this will help you understand what Copywriter Today is about. And we originally kind of created this for a bunch of the brand new folks who signed up in the last few weeks, but then we open it up as well to those of you who may not have actually signed up for the service yet. So in this webinar, we're going to go through in detail how everything works and how you can take advantage of our service and how it can help you grow your business. And so I'm excited about that. And for those of you that will be watching the replay in the future, if you do have any questions, you can always just shoot an email over to me and I'll make sure we get those answered. And for those of you that are live with us tonight, just go ahead and you can put your questions in chat down below or in the question box as we go, and I'll make sure that we get those answered. So we are going to give everybody just a few more minutes here to get logged on, and then we'll get started. And I will be going through everything in detail. So if anything, as you have questions, some of the content is probably going to answer that, but just go ahead and put them in. And then we've got a time at the end for questions. And then we also have a special giveaway at the end for those of you that are attending live, which is awesome. So stay tuned for that. And we'll make sure that we get all your questions answered and show you exactly how everything works. We did one of these probably like 6 or 8 months ago, and it was definitely helpful for all the folks that had signed on then. And so I thought it would be helpful to, do it now as well. And, that way you guys can kind of just make sure you're taking full advantage of everything. And, we've definitely added quite a few new features to the platform, and just want to make sure everybody's aware of those as well, even if you've been with us for a long time. So that will be worthwhile to kind of pay attention to those as well. And as always, we're always looking for customer feedback on how we can improve things and how we can make everything better and make it so that it will help meet the needs that you guys have for your content. So welcome, Reno. Glad to have you on. We got a few more people dialing in, and I want to make sure everybody's on here, and then we can get started. And as I mentioned, for the couple folks that just signed in just the last few seconds here, you can drop your questions in the question box below or in chat, and I'll make sure that those get answered either through the course of our time here or at the end. If I haven't covered it with the content, then we'll make sure that we get them answered in the questions. So we will definitely be going into detail, and I'll be showing you everything that you can use inside of Copywriter Today. And I'm also going to share a few things as far as how I use it personally, because now that we have a very large team on our side, it's really nice. It's something I can tap into, and I'm going to share with you how I use it for all my content as well. And hopefully that will give you some ideas as far as things that you may not have tried yet, or ideas that you could some new kind of orders that you can place and those type of things. So that will be great as well. So we're getting close here, just another minute or two. We'll make sure everybody's all logged in and ready to go, and then we will start our session here. My goal is always just to make these as informative as we can and make sure that we answer all your questions, that you really are able to take full advantage of of our tools that we offer. And then the other thing, like I said, is for those of you that maybe end up watching the replay later, this will kind of give you a full walkthrough of some things that you can add and use, or also, just if you've been considering Copywriter Today and you're watching this later, this is going to give you a full walkthrough of how everything works, which will be helpful. So we will be getting started here momentarily, and I'll make sure that, like I said, we cover everything and make sure that we answer your guys' questions as we go as well. It looks like we've got a couple more people joining us. So hello, Debbie. Glad you're on. And who else is signing in here? A couple more coming on right now. And then I think we'll have just about everybody on and we can get started. So Jordan, welcome. Glad you can make it. All right, fantastic. So it looks like everybody's on. So we're gonna dive into the content here. And for those of you that just joined, definitely drop those questions in the chat as we go here. I'm going to do my best to just make sure that everything is very thoroughly explained, and you guys understand, everything that you can use inside of Copywriter today. And but obviously, if any questions come up, I want to answer those. And just for anybody that may be watching the replay or catching this later, you can always shoot me an email to Gabe, Gabe, at copywritertoday.net. And I'll put that in the notes below the replay as well. So if you miss something, you can just shoot an email over and I'll make sure that your questions get answered. So tonight we are going to be going over for the next 30 minutes or so. I try to make these as efficient as I can, and just depending on kind of the questions and what you guys have, it'll depend on the end time there. But we're going to be going over just kind of a brief about me and how we got started. I'm going to ask you guys just 2 quick polls to kind of give me a sense of how where you're at, if you're using the service or how long you've been on, so that I can customize some of the content to you. We're going to go through how our system works, so you understand the process and how the content is created. I'm going to give you just a quick comparison to the competition, because I always think that's important for you guys to know what's available, what's out there, and some differences in what we offer. And then we're just going to touch on some example content that we can write. It's really very wide open as far as what we offer. And so I want to just kind of expand upon that in case you haven't thought of some of the options that we do already have available. And then we'll touch on how to get more content from Copywriter today. If you do already have an existing account, there's a few things that you can really leverage in some of our new options that we have available. And then any question and answers that come up, we'll go through those. And then I do want to touch on our affiliate program. We've got some wonderful customers that have been with us for quite a while now that actually joined our affiliate program last year, and we're actually expanding it, and we are inviting new affiliates. And so that will be, something that you'll definitely want to be aware of, because you can earn a little money. And, we have some people that are actually earning a lot of money from it, and just by referring Copywriter Today and the other products that we offer. And then I have a special giveaway for those of you who stay on to the end. And so we'll touch on that as well. So for those of you who haven't had the pleasure of speaking to on the phone yet, my name is Gabe Arnold. And back in 2007, I started my first digital marketing agency. And back then we offered many different products and services. And over the course of the last decade, or nearly a decade here, we've evolved into an entity that today our parent brand is called Business Marketing Engine, or we sometimes say BME for short. And so Copywriter Today is our leading content marketing solution in Business Marketing Engine. And we offer unlimited content for all our subscription members. So it's just a monthly subscription where you get access to our writers, and then we can create content for you. And today, I'm excited to say we've just been growing aggressively over the last few years. And we have a team of over 50 writers, and all of our writers, as we mentioned on our site, and we always talk about, they're all based in the United States. And the reason that we choose to do that is so that we can control the quality that we're, providing, and so that we can provide the high level of training that we do for our writing team. We really have an elite group of writers that can write about anything and create, outstanding content for your needs. And personally, just kind of a little, expansion on who I am and myself. I actually couldn't read until almost the second grade. And so it's kind of an interesting story, because I, really, really struggled with it. But finally, when I did figure out how to read and write and really grasp that, writing over the course of the next few years, and when I became a teenager, was really just something that became a passion of mine. And I still to this day have like stacks and stacks of journals and all the writing that I did as a kid. And looking back on it now, it honestly, isn't that great. But, even back then I just had a passion for writing. And so then in my, late teens and early 20s, I went through a lot. I learned a lot in kind of my entrepreneurial journey. And at one point, after having my first multi-million dollar business in the remodeling industry, I had done all my marketing online and built up, did all my lead generation and did everything through online marketing through a company back then that was called Service Magic. It's now called Home Advisor. So over the course of a few years, I built up a business that was doing, over $3 million a year. And then when the housing market crashed here in the US, I got stuck for about $250,000 and lost my business in the course of about 90 days. And at the same time, unfortunately, my grandfather passed away and my best friend died, and I also got divorced. So it was a pretty, chaotic point in my life. But one of the things that really stuck with me through that period is I actually continued to journal and write. And even going through that really difficult period, I held on to something that I really enjoyed. And, I actually finally, in my opinion, got good at writing at that point. Because I kind of broke through and let go and didn't really have any more barriers or reasons not to, really pursue my writing. And so over the course of, the next few years, I was able to get back on my feet and, start, what is now Business Marketing Engine, and Copywriter today, officially became a product a couple years ago. But it's really that passion of writing that drives me. It's something that I find really therapeutic. I really enjoy it. I can, sit down and write about any subject that I've researched. And, the strength or the exciting part about that process, even though it was painful back then to go through some of those difficult things when I was younger, is that I was able to really learn an efficient process to writing, to research, to, understanding how to become a better writer. And the great thing today is that we take each and every one of our writers through a very extensive training and onboarding process. We teach them exactly how to research and write in a very efficient manner. And, every day, we get notes back from our customers that say, I really liked that article. You did a great job. I'm really pleased with it. And that's really motivating and really inspiring to me. And so that's just a little bit of background about my story. I know I've shared that in the past before, but I wanted to share that with you guys today. And so with that said, we're going to just kind of do our 2 quick polls here. I always like to do these to, get an idea of, kind of where everybody's at. And so I can customize what's next. And I just put up a poll for you guys. It says, how long have you been a customer? So for those of you who are active with us and already customers, you can check off one of those options there. And then I can make sure that I'm, customizing kind of the upcoming content around what you guys answer. So right up there, there's the poll that says, how long have you been a customer? And you can say, this was my first month. I've been over, 2 months, over 3, over 4, over 6. So go ahead and choose one of those options. And then we will jump on to the next one after that. So it should be up on your screen now for those of you that are here live. All right, awesome. So it looks like we've got a couple of you that are brand new, that this is in your first month. And then we've got a couple of folks that have been on over 4 months, which is awesome. We really appreciate you guys and your support. And then we've got another one that is on over 6 months, which is awesome. To give you guys an idea, we actually find that the majority of our customers that spend the time to give us good feedback and, work with us and give us good feedbacks for our writers, we're able to really nail down the type of content that they want. And many of our customers end up staying on for 9, 10, 12, 18 months because, we're able just to efficiently crank out that content for them. So that's always our goal, obviously, just to make sure that we're providing the best possible content for you. And so that's great. So let's go ahead and jump on the next one here. Second kind of quick poll that we're going to be going over for, and I know a few folks just dialed in now. next one we're just going to ask is, what do you want to use Copywriter today for? And, are you looking for blog content for your business blog, email marketing content, white paper, lead magnet creation, press releases, or SEO content? If you want to check off one of those options, it should be up there. So fantastic. So it looks like about half of you, which is not surprising, this is pretty typical, are using it for blog content for your business, which is great. I personally use the service for that as well, and it really does well as far as lead generation and traffic. And then about the other half of you are using it for email marketing content. Fantastic. We'll definitely touch on some of those, and then I'm going to expand on a few other things that you may not have been doing yet, which is like white paper, lead magnet creation, press releases, and SEO content. So fantastic. All right, great. So that kind of always gives me kind of just some direction as far as what we should be focusing on here. And like I said, it looks like a few folks just dialed in here now. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the questions box, and I'll make sure that we get those answered for you as we go along here. And next, what I want to touch on with everyone is just how our order process works, how our system works, placing an order, and that whole process. So we're just going to step through that, and I'm actually going to show you live. We'll show you what the dashboard looks like right now. And kind of one note for you guys that are here with us this evening, and then also everyone who's watching the replay or seeing this a little bit later, we're constantly adding to our dashboard, improving and adding new options. So what you're seeing right now will be accurate for the overall process, but we may have a few other things that get added in the future. And so it's, just kind of worth, making note of that as well. So I'm going to run through these really quickly here, and then I'm going to show you that process too. So first, obviously step one is that you place an order requesting your content. We receive that immediately inside of our system. We do work business hours Eastern time, which is New York time, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the week. So you can place an order anytime, and it'll be live in our system, and we'll pick it up and assign it to a writer. So then when the writer receives it, the first thing they're going to do is do the research and make sure that they understand the topic that you asked about, and they'll review any reference material, they'll write the content, and then we return it to you. And then kind of the middle phase here is if there's any revisions. So when we return that to you, two things are going to happen. You're going to get an email that has a link to the file that we created for you, and it's also going to show up as available inside of your dashboard. And you can take a look at it, and if it's great, let us know. Any feedback that we did well, that helps us continue to stay on that path. If there's any revisions, then just let us know as well, because our revisions we work to complete as quickly as possible. When we can do them same day, we can. If it's 24 hours, we'll do that. But we always make sure that the piece comes out exactly the way you want. And then, honestly, there's a very low amount of revisions because, most of the time we nail it down. But if you have a new account or working on a new topic for you, then that does occur, which is fine. But, in the case where things are humming along, we've completed that, that order that you placed, then we're going to move on to the next order in your queue. And then the same process occurs. We research it, we write it, return it to you. And each type of request that you put in is subject to the turnaround time, based on the length. And one of the things that I always like to explain to everybody that's getting started with us is right up on our main site, publicly available, you can see our most up-to-date volume, table here that kind of tells you how many orders you can submit per month. Now, technically speaking, and just like it's in our terms of service, Copywriter today is a subscription that is access to our writers. So due to the fact that sometimes we're going to do a revision, or sometimes something goes a little bit faster or a little bit slower, these are not set in stone turnaround times. However, we do achieve these over 99% of the time. So we just want to kind of throw that disclaimer out there, because if we need to do a little bit of custom work for you or do a revision, then we want to make sure the first piece is absolutely perfect before we move on to the next. So based on length or type of order, you can see, what you could potentially expect per month. So for example, a 400 word order, takes 2 business days to complete, which means you can potentially get 11 per month. And just this last column is obviously throughout the course of the year, there's an average of 21 and a half business days per month. So we can look at this and say, okay, you should be able to get 11 per month if you only ordered 400 word article types. If you only ordered 800 word article types, then you would get 7 per month, and so on and so forth. Because the length of the content and the research required, grows, the time investment grows obviously per piece. So this is your best kind of production, snapshot of how much content you can potentially get inside of a single account. So you can always check that out. It's right up here on copywritertoday.net FAQ, /FAQ, right up there in the navigation, and you can see that. And again, for anybody that may be watching this in the future, or if you've never checked these out, we also have a couple videos down below here that I'd recommend that you do, play through and see how everything works. And there's our longer form content is actually a new addition. So there's a video there as well. So that kind of explains the technical, process of the amount of work that can be done. And now what I want to do is just show you, just walk through the dashboard, which I know, you folks that are existing customers are already aware of this, but just in case anybody's watching the replay later, checking this out, we'll just kind of step through this. And you may even notice something, even if you are an existing customer that you haven't, used before. So when you first log into your customer dashboard, there's something quick to note is that there's always going to be some new announcements or options that are available, like obviously for this webinar that we're holding now, folks are able to see that. And then there are some other options here that you'll definitely want to check these out as they come out. These are just always notes or updates from me, and so we have some links there, and we'll touch on that in a little bit. So inside of here, then you could place your orders. So when you're placing an order, and you're choosing the order type, right in the drop down, it tells you how many business days it will take to create that and what you should expect. So that's the first thing you do. Then we have the option to rush an article. If you want to cut down that delivery time in half, then we can help you with that. And this tells you the pricing. So for example, if I wanted to rush an 800 word article, then my account would just be charged an extra $10 for this order, and it cuts it in half. And so there's rushing options available there. And then the other things that we have available is you can always get a stock photo for your order if you'd like. If you'd like an infographic, that's available. We can create a 60-second teaser video post, which just introduces your content, which is great for SEO, for putting in YouTube and using there as well, or even putting up on Facebook. We can send it out in a campaign for you, an email marketing campaign. We can post, a one-off post to your blog for you. And like I said, then you can rush the order. The pricing is above, or we can send this content out as a press release. If you order a press release to 100 news sites for $89. So those are some add-ons that if you haven't tried out before, definitely check them out and use them, or feel free to chat with us and we can, make sure that we answer or take care of those for you and explain the more details. And then inside of here, you're going to write your specific goal. So just so that my team doesn't get confused, I'm going to put webinar example first. You guys obviously wouldn't write that part, but you could say, I want email content for my upcoming event. And then you could say, we have an open house at our company on April 1st. And then here is the reference link. So if you already had a Facebook page up or something like that, you could paste that in there. Or if you had a flyer you wanted to reference or anything like that, you could attach those documents. So pretty straightforward as far as placing your order there. There's also something I'm going to show you that's just in a very, MVP, or what we call minimum viable product beta, down below here. And there's a video that explains how to use it, but you can also record an audio note with your order if that helps you explain it better, or you're having a tough time writing, what you want us to do. obviously we're the writers, and so if you want to record an audio note, then you can record that, and then you can paste the link to your audio note inside of the instructions here too. And there's a video that explains how to do that. And we're actually in the process of releasing a much simpler interface for audio notes, but that's available there as well. So then once you did that, you would just submit the order. And and if you don't want an add-on, then all you got to do is just say, I don't want any add-ons. So we'll go ahead and submit that. And so then what happens on our side is we receive that, and we're going to, on the start of our next business day, we'll tell you when it's due back. So you can see I placed it, and it's after hours right now, and we don't have an expected return date yet. But for kind of sake of what we're doing here, I'm going to have that. I'm going to get that updated so you guys see what would happen. So the next day, when you logged in, you would see the return date. So bear with me just 1 second here, and I'm going to set that one up so that you can kind of see exactly what the return date will look like. So that's an 800 word article, or I'm sorry, that's a 400 word article. And so that's 2 business days. And I'm going to show you, there's an important kind of note here of our process that I want you guys to understand. So, all right, so we've got that. So as I mentioned earlier, our process is that we're going to work the orders in sequence that we receive them. So this order, order number 45715, this is the first one that I placed. And so that one, I didn't have any other open orders. So that one will be written and returned within the 2 business days for that. Now, there's something else that you may not have seen before in your dashboard, and you can take a look at this. It's called the order schedule. And we'll pull that up. So today is the 10th here where I'm at. And so I just placed that order for 400 words. So 2 business days for this 400 word one. So 1 business day would be Friday, 2 business days would be Monday. So now I can see that this one is going to be due back on Monday. Now our process is that we're moving on to the next order. So let's imagine that we fast forward in time and I get this one back. What's going to happen next is our team will complete this order and we're going to move on to the next one. So this order is an 800 word order, which is 3 business days. And so then it will be 1, 2, 3 business days is when I will expect to get this one back. So that would be on the 17th. And then when I, placed another 400 word article, then it's going to be 2 more business days for that one. So 1, 2, back on Monday, I'll have this one. So that's kind of gives you a visual of how our process works. And over the course of 30 days, like I said, you can get up to 11 pieces of content, potentially if you keep your order queue full and you are placing those orders. But we work them from, the first order that we received up to the last one, and we work them in sequence. And sometimes that's a question that comes up, and so that's worth kind of going through here. When these orders are closed and finished, I'll get an email notice, and plus I will also inside of the dashboard here see that they've been completed. So I'm going to go ahead and just force this one and pretend it was done, and I'll show you guys what will happen. Give me just a moment here, and I'm going to upload a kind of an example here. Okay. Just kind of saving on the other side here. I'm in the admin panel that you guys obviously can't see yet, but I'll show you exactly what that looks like. All right, so then if I go in here and view my orders, I can see this one is completed. I would have gotten an email around midday that it was done. And then if I go in and I want to view and edit it, I could see that the file is right here and then this pops up and I can click to download the file. In the future, we'll probably have previews available of some of these inside the order here, but I could just click and download the file, and it's in Word, and I can take and use it from there. Now, if I had any problems, or I was like, you know what, I would rather that we, say, let's add one more in, or let's not reference this, then all I have to do is write in my comment here and say, please edit the content and remove XYZ link. And then I would submit that. And then our team gets that, and they're able to make the edit, and they'll do the revision right away. So that's kind of how that functions for you. Now, just to touch on, there's a few other kind of options inside of here. One thing to bear in mind is that if you don't see your place order button over here for any reason, it's a good idea just to hit this refresh orders button there, because that refreshes everything. And if anything isn't marked as, if you're not seeing what we updated on our side, then that'll give you that. So that's kind of a walkthrough of how you would place an order. And then obviously the 2 days would have already passed, so we would have sent it back, and then we would be on to the next one. The other option that you always have inside of here is you can hit this live chat button, and that will take you out to speak with one of our team. And it is after business hours here, so we wouldn't be live, but you could, during business hours, you can live chat from there. So just to give you guys an idea. And I'll go ahead and go back over here. Now, I think I've covered kind of the step-by-step of orders. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next slide here and what I'd like to share with you guys. So as far as what we can write about, I just want to touch on that for a minute, because it'll give you a good sense of what kind of orders you can place. The only thing we don't write about is adult erotica, but literally everything else is generally within bounds. It is our right to reject something if we feel like it's illegal or, derogatory or something that's we're not comfortable with. We do reserve the right to reject it, but we've probably rejected less than 5 orders in 2 years. So, we know what you guys are looking for, and we're able to write it. And so we can write, health, blogs. We can write, medical content. We can write, kind of time management things. We can write about business marketing in social media. We can write about SEO. We've written for STEM education centers about the STEM education system. We do legal editing briefs. We write about direct mail marketing. We write about pet store information. We write about lizard owners. I don't know. I mean, it's endless. So my recommendation is always, make sure that you just put your order in and ask. I'm sure we can help you. Don't ever feel like something's out of bounds or something that would be too complex. I'm sure we can do it. In order to make your order successful, I always recommend to people, these kind of four steps. Provide a clear goal and be as concise as you can about that. So say, I want a blog post that promotes our, salon service. And then you would give us a link to your hair salon. And this is the service I want to promote, our, dye and cut special for $75. Give us a clear goal that I want to promote the special that we're offering. Then in the step 2, I actually already kind of got into that. Provide reference material. Here's a link to the product page. Here's an article that I like that, somebody else already wrote about that. Here's an article that I like, that I'd like my content to be styled like, and give us, details there. And then also, like I noted, record a voice note. If that helps you explain what you're, needing to do, say, just talk through it. Cause sometimes I know, obviously, like I said, we're the writers and you're not expected to be, of course. So sometimes just talking through it is a little bit easier, and you can just get on the microphone, explain it, and give us that link, and our writers will listen to that. And then the fourth thing, very important, especially if you're just starting out with us, or you're launching into a new product that we haven't product or project that we haven't helped you with yet, is give us detailed feedback. So we send back an article that's gone through our standard research and writing and quality control process, but we really didn't hit what you were thinking. Take some time to give us some feedback, and comment back on that order and say, I like that you talked about these 2 points, points 1 and 2, but I don't want to talk about this aspect. And I would rather that you focused on this component. Just take a minute to give us some really clear feedback. And the great thing is that our writing team is, they're aware of what you like, the things that we customize for you inside your account. And when you take that time to give that good feedback, then you're also going to be able to improve the quality of the articles that are coming next. So providing feedback, is important. And, so that's just something I always, recommend and want to make sure that you guys, are taking advantage of everything that our writers can offer by providing that feedback. So, other thing I just want to touch on, because folks do ask about our pricing and our subscription model and how it works. And as I've mentioned, our service is a subscription pay for access, service. So we don't price things by the word. We don't price things by the article. I don't feel like that's fair, and I think it really gets expensive. So your access is just a monthly subscription to our service where you can place the orders that you want, and then we work our way through them and get them back to you. And we found that this process is extremely effective and also extremely affordable. So I wanted to just touch on kind of a big name in the industry, because we do get compared to these guys sometimes when people are asking me price questions, and it's not really comparable. But we're just going to touch on that quick to give you guys an understanding of, what a quote unquote competitive, standard looks like. So if you were to go over to an iWriter, for example, and there's a lot of other sources, and you can also, obviously, you can hire a writer by the hour. And, good writers, honestly, obviously we have 50 of them. They deserve, to make $12, $15, $20, $25 an hour, $30 an hour or more. And personally, I've charged $100 for writing projects, an hour in the past. And if you're going to hire a single writer, everybody is more than willing, completely free to charge what they want per hour. But it's not efficient for business owners, honestly, because then you have to manage a writer, and then you have to, edit their work, and you have to do all the quality control work, and that can be very time consuming. But to give you kind of a sense of what a, per article service looks like, if you go to iWriter, you're going to have to pay at least $26 an article for the elite level writers that we offer. And the other thing is that they don't tell you when you're getting your article back. And that makes marketing really tough to schedule. They say it should be back soon if a writer picks it up, but there's just no control on the turnaround time. A 700-word article, you're going to pay at least $43. So our 800-word articles are a little bit longer. If you were to compare that to an iWriter, you're probably going to pay $50 or $60 for an 800-word article. And you guys know what great pricing we offer, and, comparatively looking at that, you can see what a pay per article service kind of looks like in this format. And then last, like a 3,000-word article, which is the longest type of content that we typically offer inside of Copywriter Today, that's at least $195. And as I said, you still have to have it edited. You still have to, go back and forth, and there's no promise of when you would get the article. There's no due date. So that's just, I always just like to take a moment, the per article model is great for some people. And so if that's good, for what somebody needs, that's fantastic. But we just felt like there's not a good turnaround time. It can be very expensive to get a few pieces, and you don't know, who you're dealing with. And so, just comparing to where with us, it's a pay for access service. You have access to place your orders anytime, and then our writers work our way through them. And it's very competitive, as and when your content's coming back. So we touched on this a little bit earlier, but just kind of another kind of quick list. We can write any type of technical content. We can write legal content, medical content with your direction. We do work for lawyers and doctors and, health specialists, any kind of business marketing content that you need, general interest, just kind of, sometimes in the industry, they're called like fluff pieces or things about celebrities or, trending things about cars or, technical things like that. We can write about those, and literally anything you want help with, definitely just place the order, try it out. And if for some reason you're watching this in the future and you haven't signed up yet, sign up, give our trial, a try, and get a piece back and see what you think. So we can really cover, a huge amount of content. And, getting the most out of Copywriter today, like we touched on, is providing detailed feedback, and investing with us. That's going to be your best, form of getting high quality content that will help you get the most out of it. So without any feedback, we don't know if we're dead on or we need to be adjusted. So always provide feedback on what we're doing for you, because we want to improve the process and make sure we nail down your voice. Content marketing, I always like to remind people, it's a long-term game. You're not going to post one blog post today or send one email blast out and, be massively successful. I wish it worked that way, because, we would charge way more for what we do. But, the truth is that content marketing takes time. And for every client that I've worked on, with one-on-one, and, people do, hire me personally for consulting, and, they obviously pay for a lot of my time, and I spend a lot of one-on-one with them. Anytime I work with somebody and I build their content marketing plan, we see that it takes 3 or 4 months or 5 months to really get a foothold in the industry and become the expert and the authority. And so for you to be successful in your content marketing, think of it in the long term. Think about how to constantly produce high quality content by using our tools. As far as getting more, content more quickly, what you want to do in that case, if you want to generate and you want to get 2 or 3 articles back at once, then you're going to want to get additional accounts. And I'm going to kind of show you in just a moment a page that explains all that in case you're interested. And we also have professional editing and something called autopilot. And then last but not least, you can increase your order queue size. And we're going to touch on that in just a minute here too. So inside of your dashboard, when you first log in, you'll see this link that says, what else can Copywriter today do for you? If you click out on this, this is going to take you to just a members only page. We don't promote this one. And it's going to explain some of the additional things that you can add on. And the first one is what we call autopilot ordering. And if you're busy and you don't want to come up with the ideas of, how to, what topics to, write about, or what we should be, what orders you want to put in, then you can utilize our team to, we'll spend a little bit of time with you at the beginning, and then as needed every month. And with just a, small investment of 15 or 20 minutes per month, we will be sending fresh content back to you. We come up with your headline ideas, we place your orders for you, and then you just get emails on a consistent basis with your new content that you can take and use how you want. The second piece that we now offer is our writers do a self-edit. They read it aloud. They make sure that it meets our quality standards, and we have actually software that we use for our quality control as well. But if you want to get full editing, which is basically like a second round of editing, a second set of eyes from a professional editor, then we can edit your work as well. So there's absolutely nothing that you need to check, and it's perfect. So that's an option that you can add in as well. And then our full autopilot ordering, editing, and posting to your WordPress site means that if you're running a WordPress site for your blog and that's where you want to place your content, then you can have us autopilot order, we can edit it for you, and we can post it to your site. So you can literally sit back after approving the set of headlines that we create. You can sit back and watch the content roll out on your blog without lifting a finger. And, we do this for a lot of clients now, and it's been really successful for them from an SEO perspective, from a branding perspective, from, their content marketing campaign. They're able to be, top of mind in their industry and just continue to have that fresh content on their site. And then last but not least, if you are going to continue to place your own orders and you want to just sit down and be organized for the month or whatever it might be, then you can upgrade your order queue to where you can have 8 open orders, 16 open orders, 30, 60, or 90. Now, it's important. Our process is still that we work the first one in, and then we move on to the next one, and then the next one, and the same process. So you're still per account only going to get, for instance, a maximum of 11 orders per month. But what this allows you to do is, for example, say you got the 90 open orders. You could sit down and place orders that would cover you for, months ahead in that order queue. So if you're the type of person that likes to be very organized, you can go ahead and drop in all those orders at once, and it's just a convenience for you. And the reason that this is an upgrade and a charge on our side is it does take a little more labor on our side and a little more time to get things organized and make sure that those are coming back in a timely manner to you. So if you do want any of these, you can always just chat with us. You're always going to see this chat box down on our sites, and you can ask any questions there. My email address is right there, gabe@copywritertoday.net. And you can, on any of these, get a custom quote. And what that does is we will, you just punch in your information here, and we'll tell you exactly what each of those add-ons cost. They're really affordable. If it's something you're interested in, definitely at least get the quote. You're not required to, fully activate it unless you want to. But that is just kind of gives you a walkthrough of some other things that can make your content marketing a little more efficient, a little bit faster, and make this a valuable experience for you guys. And so that's kind of the kind of run through of things that if you haven't thought about that you're not using yet, then you may want to take advantage of those. And then we'll go from there. So at this point, since we've covered quite a bit of content and we're good part of the way through here, and we'll be wrapping up in a little bit, just wanted to open this up, and if anybody has any questions, just go ahead and put those in chat and I will get those answered. So I'm just going to give you guys just a second for that. And we do have a few other things to go over, and like I said, we do have that special giveaway, and so we'll be doing that right at the end. But go ahead and just put your questions in chat, and I will give you guys a minute for that, and we'll get organized and go through those, and I'll answer your questions. So go ahead and do that, and I will just going to check a couple things here on my side as well. While we're doing that, I see a couple coming in, which is great, and we'll go through those as well. So terrific, couple good ones coming in here. Sarah, that I will answer yours here in just a minute. And I appreciate when you guys are interacting and putting some things in here, because this is helpful, helps me know, preparing for, our next ones that we're creating, gives me an idea of what we should be including in the slides next. And also, just lets me know what you guys are thinking. So it's fantastic. I see a couple other people typing them in here. So I'm going to give you guys another moment for that as well. And then I'll go through and answer them. And then we just have two other parts that I definitely want to cover with you guys as well. So, all right. Fantastic. Okay. So, I probably went through this too fast, so I apologize. Sarah asked, she said, what happens over the weekends? That's a good point, and I'm going to show you guys my schedule again to kind of illustrate that. We don't work on the weekends. Even if something's rushed, I want to give my writers time off with their family and, to have downtime to be refreshed and come back and do great work for you guys. So for instance, if I, placed an order today, like I showed you earlier, then Friday is the next business day. So that's one business day, but Saturday and Sunday don't count. And then, Monday, you'd be receiving that back because that would be the second business day. So we don't work on the weekends. And somebody asked again what our business hours are: 9 to 5 Eastern time, which is New York for our international clients. You guys, that's when we are around and available on chat. The great thing though is feel free to reach out by email anytime, because if I am available after hours, I'm going to reply then. I'll make sure I get back to you, but then it's in queue to get answered right away. So fantastic. And let's see here. Joe asked, do you guys do content that's longer than 3,000 words? Just to touch on the folks that do have multiple accounts with us, so our agency level customers, in that case, we are more than willing to look at it. If you have more than 3 accounts open with us and you have an agency login, in that case, we are willing to look at longer content. But for our single account holders, to keep our process streamlined, we don't offer over 3,000 word, orders in most cases. What you can do, though, is we do have our sister product, which is also a business marketing engine product called Get Traffic Booster. And we do offer long form content up to 35,000 words in this. And over on the FAQ here, I believe we have this updated here. Yeah, you can see the content that we offer here. So if you're interested in long form content, then that's if you need something more than 3,000 words, then that's fine. And let's see what else here. Let's see here. Let me pull this one up. Richard, he said, I'm on my first month and I got a discount through one of your partners. Will that discount stay on to the second month? And yes, the answer is definitely yes to that, Rich. If you sign up with a discount code and we offer a discount either through, you signed up from one of our promotions that we're offering, or you heard about us through a partner, then you get that lifetime discount. And so, for example, say it's $149 a month for your basic level account. We do, like you said, we do offer a few different things for our partners. But for example, if it was that amount, then it's going to be $149 the next month. You guys don't have to worry about that price ever going up. Obviously, if you add on an autopilot service or you add something on or you want more, of course, that's going to cost. But we, in most cases, are able to offer you the same discount for additional accounts. And so, the price that you sign up for is never going to go up. So fantastic. Let's see if there's any other ones here question-wise. Do we do custom projects? Sometimes we will do custom projects. You are always free, you can feel free to reach out and ask us if there's something that we can help you with. But in general, we've grown dramatically over the last 6 to 8 months. And so our ability to offer the pricing that we do is based on everything being streamlined. And so some things aren't a fit. So we'll just let you know. And then if it's not a fit, we can move right on to the next order and get that knocked out for you. And let's see what else here. Okay. Yep, it looks like I think we covered these. There's a couple duplicates in there, but for those of you that are watching later, you can always remember just to shoot me an email or comment below when we're putting up this replay, and I'll make sure that we get it back to you. And then let's see here. Last thing I want to touch on for you guys is I'm going to go ahead and put this in chat to everybody that's on live and you guys that are watching. It's businessmarketingengine.com, and in the navigation up top, it says become a partner. You can go right to this page. For those of you that are enjoying using Copywriter today, we have grown our business through word of mouth, through affiliates, and through people that are, enjoy our service and want to share it with others. And so if you're interested in becoming an affiliate, you can be an affiliate for all of the products that Business Marketing Engines offers, and we will pay you commission. And the great thing about our program is that we will pay you commission on the first month when somebody signs up, and then on the second month as well, and as long as they stay on as a customer. And so many of you actually who are on today found us through a partner. And the great thing is that those partners are getting paid their commission. And so that's how we grow our sales team. It's all an independent sales team. And the other exciting thing is, say, for example, that you referred somebody to us and they sign up through your affiliate link and with your discount code that we'll give you. Let's say they sign up for one account. And then in a couple of months, they love it. They want more content and they move to having 5 accounts. Guess what? Your commission rate goes up to the full account level. So even if I do the upselling or I do the work to grow that customer account, you are going to get paid for it. And so we have some partners who have sent us some big accounts and now are getting to the point where they're earning a few $1,000s a month because they continue to send us great customers, and then we upsell those customers into more services that are of value to their business, and then they get paid. So our affiliate program is the best way for you guys to share Copywriter today if you're happy with it and you want to share it with others. Plus, you're going to get paid for it when people sign up. So we're very careful about tracking it, and we make sure that everybody earns, based on their, their whoever they're sending us and those accounts that come in and that are growing. So I'm going to just open up again, last moment here. If there's any other questions, I want to make sure those get answered. And then we are going to do our giveaway. And then, of course, you guys know you can always reach out to me, send me an email, ask me any questions. We want to make sure that our service is tailored to you. So anytime that we get great feedback about something that we could add that will make it easier for you to use it, or if you have thoughts or ideas, we have customized Copywriter today from day one to meet the feedback that we get from all our clients. And so we're happy to do that. And I'm happy to talk to you about anything that you need, or any thing of ways that we can make it more appropriate or a better fit for your business and your needs. So great. I think we got all the questions answered here. And so last but not least, I love doing these on the webinars because I really appreciate you guys as customers, and for those of you that have spent the time. And so this is just for our live folks that are on this evening. But if you're watching a replay, this is your inspiration to show up live, because I do this on 90% of our customer webinars. And for our informational webinars, we're always going to give something away. And you don't always have to be a customer, because when we do our informational ones where we're just doing our free marketing webinars, we give things there away as well. But just our way of saying thanks. And I love giving back when we have the opportunity. So today I am excited to say that Mark, you have won a free month of Copywriter today. So you will not be billed for your next renewal date. You're actually going to get a bonus. So there'll be you'll get a full month discount code put right on your account. And so you won't get billed the next time, but it'll be following after there. So we're going to go ahead and give you a free account, or a free month on your account. And just for saying thanks for being here tonight and being a customer, we appreciate you. And so, like I said, for those of you that attended, I appreciate you guys. If there's any questions, you can always shoot those over in email. And for anybody watching the replay, I would love to have you on live next time, but feel free to just comment or email any questions. I'll make sure I get those answered. And thank you guys so much for your support and being partners in our business, and trusting us with your content, because I know what it's like to purchase online and not know who it is on the other side. And so I hope that this time, that we've been able to spend together, we've been able to get to know each other a little bit better. And I hope you understand a little bit more of our process. And I hope you've thought of some ideas of how you can, use our service even more to help you grow your business. And so we appreciate you, myself, Tanya, all our writers, the entire team. We love working with each of you. And so appreciate you guys. And again, reach out if you need anything. And otherwise, have a fantastic rest of the evening. And for those of you watching this later, I hope you have a great rest of the day. Talk to you later. Bye.